Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that's been the dream of speed junkies for decades, the legendary Suzuki Hayabusa, now in its 2026 form. A name synonymous with power, speed, and aggressive styling, the Hayabusa isn't just a motorcycle, it's a culture, a status symbol, and for many, the pinnacle of sport bike engineering. In this video, we're giving you a complete, in-depth review from the details that make this beast tick to how it performs in the real world. Whether you're considering buying one or just a fan of high-performance machines, this is the Hayabusa review you've been waiting for. So strap in, hit that like button, and let's launch into it. Alright, let's talk about what's under the skin of the 2026 Hayabusa. Technically, it's still built on the third-generation platform introduced in 2022, refined further in 2025, but 2026 sees minor updates in electronics and cosmetics to keep it sharp in today's competitive superbike market. Under the hood or tank, it carries a 1,340cc inline-4 engine, liquid-cooled and capable of producing between 190 and 197 horsepower, depending on your market. Torque, a monstrous 150 Nm at around 7,000 revolutions per minute. This engine isn't new, but it's continually refined, and what it lacks in peak numbers compared to rivals, it makes up for in delivery, reliability, and character. It's paired with a 6-speed constant mesh transmission equipped with Suzuki's bidirectional quickshifter and clutch assist system, which makes shifting under pressure buttery smooth. Curb weight comes in at around 264 kilograms, so it's a heavy bike, no doubt, but that weight brings insane stability at speed. Fuel tank is 20 liters, giving you decent touring range, especially considering Suzuki's fuel mapping improvements. And if you're curious about pricing in the US, the 2025 model sits around $19,399 MSRP. Expect the 2026 to be in the same ballpark with slight dealer markup, depending on location and color availability. The 2026 Hayabusa keeps the signature Falcon-inspired design. It's long, low, wide, and aerodynamic. Everything about it screams speed. That iconic silhouette is not just for show. Suzuki put this thing through extensive wind tunnel testing to optimize drag and improve high-speed stability. Up front, you get a sleek, vertically stacked LED headlight, framed by massive SRAD intake ducts that feed cool air to the engine and enhance downforce at speed. The front fairing is sculpted for airflow. It channels wind smoothly across the rider and bike, cutting through resistance like a knife. The tail section is short, sharp, and aggressive, giving it a proper sport bike stance. Two massive upswept exhausts complete the look, and they're tuned not just for emissions but also for an aggressive sound signature that growls under load. Colors for 2026, Suzuki's offering options like glass sparkle black, metallic mystic silver with pearl vigor blue, and the head-turning matte steel green with titanium accents. Our personal favorite, sitting on the Hayabusa, is an experience in itself. The cockpit mixes old-school analog charm with modern digital tech, something many riders actually prefer. You're greeted with two large analog gauges, a speedometer and tachometer, flanking a full-color TFT display in the center. That screen gives you access to everything you need: ride modes, lean angle, gear position, traction control settings, fuel economy, and more. Switch gears premium. You can navigate all rider raids from the handlebars without taking your hands off the grips. Everything is intuitive and laid out with rider safety in mind. Suzuki's intelligent ride system is here in full force, giving you control over 10 levels of traction control, 3 power delivery modes, engine braking adjustments, anti-wheelie settings, and even launch control. And yes, there's cruise control too, making this hyperbike surprisingly tour-ready. Now, you might not expect comfort from a hyperbike, but the Hayabusa is full of surprises. The seat height is set at 800 mm, 31.5 inches, which is manageable for most riders. The seat itself is well padded for longer rides, and the riding triangle, although slightly aggressive, doesn't punish your wrists like a track-focused supersport. The large fairing and windscreen provide ample wind protection, especially if you tuck in, add in the bike's weight and longer wheelbase, and you've got a machine that feels incredibly planted on the highway. The suspension setup, featuring kib front forks and a link-type rear monoshock, is adjustable and strikes a great balance between sport and comfort. Bumps are handled with surprising grace, and even urban riding feels smooth and composed, especially if you're cruising rather than carving. Want to take it touring? Add a taller screen, tank bag, maybe a passenger backrest, and you've got yourself a 200 horsepower sports tourer. Okay, this is where the Hayabusa earns its stripes. 0 to 60 miles per hour happens in under 3 seconds. Top speed is electronically limited to 186 miles per hour, or 299 kilometers per hour, but we all know that with a simple limiter removal, the Hayabusa is more than capable of hitting 200 plus miles per hour. But it's not just the speed, it's how it feels. The engine is responsive without being twitchy, the throttle is smooth, the power delivery is linear, and the acceleration is relentless. You're never short on power, and no matter the gear or speed. Handling is sharp for a big bike. The long wheelbase and heavier weight mean it doesn't flick side to side like a litter bike, but once leaned in, it holds its line like it's on rails. Bridgestone Battlex Hypersport tires offer tons of grip, and corner exits are a joy when that torque kicks in. Braking is top-notch, with dual 320mm Brembo-style EMA calipers up front, a Nissan rear, and lean-sensitive cornering ABS. There's no drama, just precise stopping power, no matter how hard you push. In the electronics suite, it's like a safety net that you don't even notice unless you need it. Whether it's traction control saving you from an unexpected slick spot or anti-lift calming down a power wheelie, everything works in harmony. This machine blends brutal performance with refined comfort, iconic styling, and modern electronics better than almost anything else on two wheels. It may not have the wildest horsepower numbers on the spec sheet, but what it delivers is a real-world, usable, endlessly thrilling riding experience. It's a bike that can carve mountain roads on Sunday and cruise hundreds of miles on Monday. It's as much about personality and presence as it is about outright speed. And in 2026, the legend lives on, a more refined, more advanced, and just as fearsome as ever. If you've got the skill and the nerve, the Hayabusa will reward you with one of the most unique rides in the world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at the 2026 Hayabusa, smash that like button, subscribe for more superbike content, and let us know in the comments, is the Hayabusa still your dream bike, or is its reign coming to an end? Catch you in the next one. Ride safe.